Hello and welcome to this week's Weather Studio Live, your Halloween special. Alex dared me to do that. Hello and thank you for joining us again. Today, of course, it's Friday 12:15, so we're here every week with our Weather Studio Live. I can see some comments in the chat section already, so make sure you do send us in your questions, and soon Alex will be up on the screen answering as many as we can. And of course, we have our quiz. Guess what the theme is?
I don't know. Summer?
It might be. I'll keep you guessing. But yes, hello, my name's Anna Criswick. I'm a meteorologist and presenter and part-time witch at the Met Office, and today I'm joined by...
I'm Alex Burkill, also presenter, meteorologist here. I'm not a witch, unfortunately, today. I was busy decorating the studio, putting
Alex
some touches.
Alex did decorate. I just turned up with my hat.
Was it your spider on your hat that did this web here?
It might have been. There's a few spiders in the studio, actually. That's a very glitzy spider.
Yeah.
Actually, it's quite a sparkly one. I'm a bit jealous.
Glamorous.
Yeah, but yes, hello and welcome. It's been quite a busy week. There's been quite a lot to talk about. Obviously, Hurricane Melissa making the headlines, and we've spoken about it quite a lot in our videos this week. It's been quite wet. It's been quite windy at times. There's a few rumbles of thunder already today. We might see a few squally showers, so we're going to be talking about all of that. So, and of course today it's Halloween, so you might be out trick-or-treating, so let us know if you want your own personal Halloween weather forecast. But yeah. You've actually not been here that much this week.
No, well, it's half term.
We've done all that for him.
It's half term, so I've had a few days off with the kids and stuff, but I have been in a few days.
Yeah.
I wasn't presenting yesterday, but I was...
No.
Was I? I don't think so.
No.
But I was doing other bits around the office. And but like you say, Melissa, that's been the big talking point. It's caused a lot of problems. I'll be covering what Melissa's going to do next, how it's looking to head across the Atlantic, and it is going to influence our weather, but nothing on the same scale as what it's brought to parts of the Caribbean, where it's been devastating. So we're thankful that it's not causing anywhere near as many problems as that when it comes towards us.
Yes, exactly. So we'll have some updates on Hurricane Melissa and obviously this weekend's weather as well. And we've had a few comments and questions already. Alfie Law has said, "Is this Honour's final Weather Studio Live?"
Well, yes and no.
Yes and no. I'll be back next week because it's our year anniversary. So we've got some special plans for next week. I won't ruin the surprise, but it will be worth a watch next week, I think.
I think you have ruined the surprise in the previous video. I was watching something. Yeah.
In my deep dive?
Yeah, pretty sure you said what's going to happen. So I don't think it's a super secret.
Well, I might have given some hints.
If you don't know and want to know, make sure you watch to the end of Honour's Deep Dive on Tuesday. It's worth it.
That just shows no one watches my deep dives till the end.
Well, I think lots of people do.
Lots of people do. Surprised you did.
Yeah, of course
did you skip to the end as well?
No. No. I never do. But yeah, so it is your last deep dive, Weather Studio Live.
Yes.
Like this. But
the last
next week...
quiz as well that I've written for you. It's a good one.
It better be. I'm still buzzing from the last time we did a quiz and I got 5 out of 5.
You've done pretty well on my quizzes.
Yeah.
Because there was a week before you got 4.
Yeah.
And it was the spot the difference that let you down.
Foiled me. But you did well in the spot the difference last week.
I did. That was the only thing I did well on.
That saved your blushes.
Right, let's take a look at some questions that we've got. So Martin Baines has asked, will the remains of Melissa introduce any warmer air to the UK, break the current northerly flow?
Yeah, it's fair to say that things are going to turn milder. I'll actually, when I go over to the board in a second, show you a few things, because it could be pretty remarkably mild, especially for the fact that it'll be early November by then. So I'll be talking about that in a second. But yes, I mean, it was mild this morning.
Yeah.
It wasn't even coat weather or anything like that, just a light jacket. But it's going to be a bit fresher over the weekend, nothing particularly cold. And then, yeah, temperatures are actually going to pick up, particularly by night as we go through next week. So we're in for some pretty mild nights as we go through into the start of November.
That'll be quite nice. I don't like the cold nights. I don't mind a cold, fresh morning, But you know, if you're out in the evening, as soon as the sun goes down, it's cold. I don't like that.
I get you entirely. Yeah, it's nice to be able to lengthen the days as much as possible.
Yeah. Lachlan Marsh has asked, will it thunder in Skegness tonight?
I'll show you that in the screen in a second.
We've got some hail and thunder in the mix.
There's definitely the potential for, well, there's more thunder possible as we go through the next few days. I think hail is a big talking point at this time of year, hail, small hail in particular. So it's in the summer months you get your larger hail, and in the autumn, winter months you get small hail, but nonetheless it could be, you know, interesting and noteworthy. Yeah,
for sure. Also, someone's asking about snow, the favourite question. Eddie Toma, any more snow for Scotland? Oh, Eddie Toma, sorry.
Well, with the potential for something a bit warmer, milder coming through as we go through the back end of this weekend and into next week, it's not going to be much. I could have a look at the freezing level in a second maybe, and then we'll have a look just how low it's going to get and whether or not there will be any winteriness. At this time of year, seeing some sleet, some snow over the Scottish mountains, that's definitely not unheard of. We had some this time last week, I believe.
We did. We were talking about snow, I think, last week.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Yes, okay. Thank you for your comments and questions already. Do keep them coming. Make sure to ask Alex anything you want, meteorology-wise, if you want your own personal forecast. But someone's also asking, actually, which is quite a good question. We do get asked this sometimes. The Plain Nerd 01. What's a great way to get into meteorology?
Well, what was your run-up to meteorology?
I kind of fell into it a little bit. I did geography. I did geography at uni, which I really liked. And we studied a little bit of meteorology, but not that much. And because I still didn't really know what I wanted to do, I thought, oh, why not? I'll do a master's in meteorology because I enjoyed the subject. And just really ended up really enjoying it. And we did have a little weather presenting module, just like a little side module that we could do. And I really enjoyed doing that. So then luckily I got my job at the Met Office not long after uni, started my presenter training pretty much straight away. And yeah. The rest is history, as they say.
The rest is history. Yeah, my route was fairly similar, to be honest, in as much as I did my degree in maths and didn't really know what I wanted to do with that. And so after working for a bit, went to university to do a master's in meteorology, always with the plan of coming here to the Met Office, always with the idea of being a presenter, really, because I love talking about the weather.
Yeah.
I think everyone does.
I think it's part of British culture, talking about the weather and complaining about the weather.
My complaint about the weather is with the role that we do, it kind of scuppers and ruins small talk. So when we have, you know, someone you don't know or someone that you're not particularly close with, and they bring up the weather and they say, oh, they say it's going to turn warmer next week, and you're like, like, it's not. Or like you have to then go into it, and then you never know how quickly to point out, like, I'm actually a meteorologist.
Yeah, I actually know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, if you were watching Channel 5 last night, you'd have seen me. So, like, telling you what the weather's going to do. So that's the type of thing. So I think that's probably the hardest bit of the job.
Yeah, and weather talk is just like work talk for us. So you know, we never stop.
We live and breathe it.
We really do. We really do. Cool. Okay. So
Richard Newton 6586 has asked which house you're going to be sorted into, Honor.
Yes.
It's kind of wonky, and
I'm not going to lie, it's not staying on my head very well. Every time I'm nodding and agreeing with you, I can feel it falling off. So I might take it off in a minute. It's quite big actually, but it doesn't stay on my head very well.
Which house are you hoping for?
Oh. I always liked a little bit of Hufflepuff, but I think that's the boring one, isn't it? But I just enjoy saying Hufflepuff.
Hufflepuff. Let's go with Hufflepuff.
Hufflepuff it is.
I imagine they're quite hoping for as many people as possible because, like you said, I think it's the most popular.
One.
So Hufflepuff will take you.
It's got the most fun name. Right, okay, so another question we've had is from Shinasu. Not sure, I think I've said that right. We don't get hurricanes in the UK. That's exactly what the Met Office said back in '87 when we had one.
Was that from your deep dive?
Oh, that was from my deep dive, sorry.
Yeah, that's an interesting... I'm going to go over to the board now for this bit because That's an interesting point that you raise, and 1987 was a great storm, literally called the Great Storm of '87, and it did bring very, very strong winds, hurricane force winds, and some heavy rain. It caused lots of problems. Trees were blown down. I was only 6 months old at the time, but nonetheless, it's been, you know, embedded into me just how big a storm and how noteworthy it was. Not, however, technically a hurricane, because it didn't form over the tropics, which is what needs to happen for it to be a hurricane. But the question is, what's Melissa going to do now that it's pushed across the Caribbean? So you can see this now. So Melissa, it brought devastating impacts to Jamaica, to Cuba, and nearby other Caribbean islands. It's now pushed towards Bermuda, but whilst when it reached Jamaica, it was still a Category 5 and had sustained winds of 185 miles per hour. And even by the time it made landfall in Cuba, it was still a Category 3, so a major hurricane. But as it's pushed now towards Bermuda and has now crossed Bermuda, it's weakened to a Category 1 with sustained winds only of around 90 miles per hour. I say only, that's still very strong, so very windy, very wet, and is still going to bring some further impacts, and they're still on alert. But what then happens to the low? So it's this area of low pressure here, and if I run it through the next couple of days, and you can see the jet stream, the pink shades and the fast moving arrows indicating where we have the jet stream, and the low pressure does actually start to deepen again as it makes its way across the Atlantic towards us, and you can see it's getting closer and closer. And if you watched Donna's deep dive, even if you watched Aidan's 10-day trend, he spoke about there being some uncertainty about the track that it was going to take. And earlier on in the week, there were some forecast tracks that took the low much closer towards, well, towards Spain, even closer towards Africa, so much further south, even some that took it more across the UK. However, as we always see, as we've got nearer the time, we've firmed up a bit more on the details, and now it looks like the low pressure is going to track, yes, across the Atlantic, initially towards the UK, but before it gets particularly close, it's likely to track a bit further northwards, more towards Iceland. And so it never really gets especially close towards the UK. Now, if I stop it here and if I put our rain on instead, I'll leave the fronts and the isobars on. And also let's put our winds, and it is going to bring some wet and windy weather as we go through the back end of Sunday and into Monday. So yes, it is going to be unsettled, but not especially impactful. We may need some rain warnings across western parts where the rain's going to be heaviest. We may possibly even need some wind warnings. We're talking coastal gales, maybe severe gales in some exposed western spots, and more inland areas, gusts of around 40 miles per hour perhaps. So it is going to be wet, it is going to be windy, but nothing out of the ordinary really for the time of year. Now, a few other things that I wanted to show you when it comes to Melissa. So here is the official forecast track from NHC, and you can see it's crossed or just pushed over Bermuda, and you can see the official forecast track has it losing its hurricane status early on Saturday morning US time, and then it pushes its way eastwards, and it goes with the idea that, yeah, it's not going to be especially close towards the UK. The other thing that I wanted to highlight is, actually, that's not going. We'll cover that in a second. The other bit that I wanted to talk about is the potential tracks that it could take. So I already mentioned that there was some uncertainty, but there's less uncertainty about it than there is currently. There's less uncertainty than there was in the past. And you can see that here. Here I have ECMWF data, and this is Hurricane Melissa as it currently is, and these are the potential forecast tracks that it can take. You can see there are some outliers which take it more towards into Canada, but we're not really expecting there. Very unlikely. The most likely setup is it goes further northeast. Now on this chart, the colours actually represent how deep the low pressure centre is going to be, and you can see most models are actually suggesting that the pressure centre is going to deepen as it comes across the Atlantic, as it pushes across the jet stream, which isn't that surprising. And so it's going to get back down to the 960s, that kind of hectopascal range, millibars, whichever you prefer. But as it gets closer towards the UK, then it starts to fill a little bit, particularly as it gets really at its closest point. It'll fill just a little bit, probably high 960s, low 970s maybe. And so whilst it is going to bring some wet and windy weather for sure, it really doesn't look like it will be especially impactful. And so, you know, it's brought devastating winds and rain to parts of the Caribbean. And so we just really need to be careful when talking about the influence that it's going to have on the UK, because it's going to be nowhere near the level that some other countries have had. And we just need to make sure that we're taking that into account, because some tabloids, some headlines, they'll get a bit excited perhaps by saying Hurricane Melissa, it's brought devastation to parts of the Caribbean and now it's heading our way. And whilst that's technically true, it's going to be so heavily modified that it's really not going to be anywhere near as impactful at all. Now, this is a chart again from NHC. And this shows the wind speeds, or the force of winds that parts have had. So you can see the deep reds showing where they had hurricane force winds and then some across parts of Jamaica into Cuba. Like I said, sustained winds of 185 miles per hour. So a really strong, damaging event. Then there was one other thing that I wanted to show you, but I've temporarily forgotten what that is, so I might have to come back to that one. But the other thing that we wanted to look at then is generally the weekend weather and also what Melissa's impact is going to be on our temperatures. So if I just quickly run through the weather that we're expecting across the UK this weekend, I'll cover it more in a bit more detail in a second, but the general idea being we have showery rain pushing its way, bands of showery rain pushing through today, and then another spell of showery rain pushing its way through as we go through later this evening, more so overnight, and then that arrives. Now, this low pressure towards the northwest, this isn't what was Melissa. It's this low pressure that pushes in later as we go through, more so into Sunday. And therefore, we notice the isobars, they're tightly packed together. It is going to be blustery, it's going to be windy, really, as we go through the weekend, and plenty of showery bursts. Also some sunny breaks, some clear spells by night, sunny spells by day, but blustery with showery spells. And then, as we go through probably the final few hours of Sunday, we see some wet weather arriving, the winds strengthen again due to this area of low pressure, and it's this that is the remnants of Hurricane Melissa. And you can see that the rain doesn't look especially heavy, but it's just going to be wet. It's going to be windy for a while. The thing that I wanted to mention that I temporarily forgot was if, and it isn't going to be, but if it was going to bring impacts severe enough that we wanted to warrant naming it, would we be calling it Melissa or giving it a new name, i.e. Brown, which is the next name on our list? And the answer is we would keep its name as Melissa, so we would refer to it as Storm Melissa. Now, worth bearing in mind, it isn't going to be a storm, or it really isn't expected to be at this stage. But I just wanted to point out, because you may remember back with Storm Amy, that actually developed from what was Hurricane Umberto. But that was slightly different because the low pressure centre, actually, before I show you the gusts, let's get back this up. The low pressure centre from Umberto actually broke up a little bit and a separate low developed. And it was that led to Amy developing. Meanwhile, in this instance, you can really see, just to track this back, the low that is Melissa keeps its identity of sorts. Yes, it becomes modified, it weakens, strengthens again a bit, and then weakens once more, but it's still that same low. So had it come closer to the UK, or been forecast to come close to the UK, and had it still been a bit deeper by the time it reaches us, then it would have been Storm Melissa, even though it's reaching the UK. And in the past, Umberto didn't lead to Storm Umberto, it led to Amy. Then the last thing that I wanted to show you on this one, and I got it up a second ago, is just the gusts that we can expect through this weekend and into the beginning of next week, because it is going to be fairly windy. It's already quite blustery out there at the moment, and we're going to see winds strengthen as we go through the end of the day as well. If I just roll through a little bit quicker. So some blustery weather as we go overnight, some strong gusts of winds here and there, nothing too alarming. It's the end of October, almost November after all, but nonetheless it is going to be pretty windy. And then as we see what was Melissa getting closer to us as we go through Sunday, again we are going to see some stronger winds, so some gusts strengthening as we go through the back end of Sunday and into Monday. But again, or actually they're not really showing up particularly. Oh gosh, don't know why it's going black, but we'll ignore that one for now. But the point being, it is going to be wet, it is going to be windy, but nothing anywhere close to the scale of what they've seen in parts of the Caribbean, and really it's just going to be fairly standard autumn weather here in the UK.
It wouldn't be a Weather Studio Live without some technical hitches, am I right?
That's why we're here. There was also that question earlier about the temperatures that were going to be coming in as a result of Melissa.
Yes.
And so if I just put my pressure sequence up, and if I dart ahead to Monday, or actually let's go back to the here and now, and you can see we have pretty mild air across us at the moment, which is why Thursday night into Friday it was really mild. And whilst we are going to see a slight drop in our temperatures as we go through into the weekend, so things turning a little fresher, and all the time there'll be some blustery winds as I just showed, and so as a result it's going to feel quite fresh at times, perhaps a bit fresher than it has been recently, but nonetheless it's not especially cold air. And actually as we go through into the end of the weekend and the beginning of next week with Melissa here, we then drag in milder air again, so we're going to see temperatures rising. Yes, by day, because it's wet and it will be windy at times, it may not feel especially mild, but by night it is going to be fairly remarkably mild, to be honest. In terms of records, well, we're not going to be too far off when it comes to our minimum temperature records. So the UK's minimum temperature record for November for the highest is 15.9. I think that's pretty unlikely. I think we're looking at some places staying around 12, 13, maybe 14 Celsius. So not too far off. It's definitely not out of the question. But I think Northern Ireland's November record for the highest minimum temperature is 14.5. And so not expected, but it's definitely not something that is out of the question at the moment.
When you lost your voice there, I thought you were about to turn into a demon for Halloween.
Well, like Alex turned into a werewolf,
yeah,
I turned into a demon.
Quite similar. I was like, hang on a minute.
And we were just going to surprise you. When telling you about that plan, we were just going to, let's do it.
Speaking of Halloween, Max Realty has asked, can we have the times around the country when it will stop raining, and is it okay to go trick-or-treating? Now, that's a trickier question. We have got a band of rain moving through, but the showers after that, it's a little bit harder to pinpoint exact times with showers, but we can certainly give you an idea.
Yeah, I think it's fair to say that many places across the UK tonight, or this evening, will have some dry weather. But you're right, picking the best time to go out, well, that's quite important. So yes, we have a band of showery rain that's pushing its way northeastwards across the country at the moment, and this is going to still be clinging on across some eastern parts as we go through into the evening. So eastern Scotland, down the eastern side of England, even some central southern counties towards Sussex and Kent. There'll be some rain for a little while yet, but it moves through fairly quickly. And so, you know, by 7, 8 o'clock, most places will have seen that rain clearing through. Some could be lingering in parts of the southeast, so it's kind of a case of avoiding the worst of the downpours there. But many places having lots of dry weather. As Honor mentioned, there will also be some showers around, and they're fickle, they're difficult to pinpoint and difficult to forecast. So it's one of those where maybe use the Met Office app, look at the latest radar, so check the last 6 hours option when you go to the map, and then you can see exactly where the showers are at the moment, and then that will give you a good guide. If you run the sequence through, it will give you a good guide as to whether or not they're close to you and how long they're going to last. So most people obviously don't go trick-or-treating for you know, many hours. My son probably will want to be out for several, but we'll have to rein him in. Pardon the pun. But it's a case that I think there will be a lot of dry weather around, but also a few pesky showery bursts of rain. And then later in the southwest, across Cornwall in particular, maybe far southwestern parts of Wales, it's going to turn cloudier and wet as well. It isn't going to be especially chilly, temperatures staying in double figures for most places, but do factor in those strong winds, and so you may need to wrap up a little bit warmer than you may think if you look at the temperature figures, because it is going to be blustery. So watch out for the showers, and you may want to wrap up because of the winds.
Tie down those Halloween decorations. Hold on to your witch's hat. You don't want to lose them. Also, speaking of winds, it's a little bit tricky, but Margaret Towler is asking, What's it going to be like with the gusts for Aberdeen? Because I suppose when those squally showers hit, it could be quite gusty, couldn't it? But it might not necessarily show very well on the model graphics that we have.
Yeah, that's a good one. With the squally showers, with the potential for some heavy downpours to come with the rain that's pushing through, that's when we could get some stronger gusts. Because, well, one way to think of it is the surface, the ground, leads to some friction, and so the winds slightly higher up are always a bit stronger than the ones nearer the surface. But if you get some heavy downdrafts coming from the heavier bursts of rain, then they can draw down some of those stronger winds, and so that's why you can get some squally gusts as we get heavier bursts of showery rain pushing through. So do watch out for those, because whilst it's blustery as the heavier rain pushes through, but fortunately, as I mentioned, across eastern Scotland, by around 6-7 o'clock-ish, it should have largely cleared through and it's looking largely dry. So if you are planning to go out, you may just need to wait a little bit longer. I hope that doesn't mean your kids' bedtime is going to be especially late.
My bedtime's going to be late tonight.
Away?
I'm going to a Halloween party.
Oh, you're going out.
I'm going out on the town. Keith Russell 1146 says, already Honor and Alex B, you've brought us some Halloween magic to the Friday Live. A great combo. Aww.
To be honest,
nice
I am really going to miss you.
Are you?
Yeah.
You only say that when we're on the camera. You don't say these nice things to me behind the
true.
scenes.
Greg and Rich next door who are recording us, they heard me say it just a few seconds ago.
I'm only joking. I'll miss you too as well, Alex. But it'd be nice to all be together next week, definitely.
It will be.
Okay, a couple of other weather forecasts. Callum Richardson, 5816. Hi both. It's my auntie's 70th birthday tomorrow and we are planning a bonfire party in the evening. What are the chances for calm and clear weather in Canterbury?
Canterbury. Oh, okay. So
bonfire party.
It's, I mean, in November, it's always asking for trouble, isn't it? Let's be honest. It's fairly standard weather, because tomorrow is the 1st of November. I've got that right, haven't I?
Yeah.
So there is some showery rain around, and as we mentioned, showery rain is quite difficult to forecast the details with. And you can see, you know, there are some showery bursts pushing through, but it's not looking like it's going to be persistent, long-lasting, intense, heavy rain for several hours, that kind of thing. So there'll be some showery bursts around. So hopefully you may need to go in and come out again in terms of, you know, dodge the rain when it's passing through, but there should be some usable dry weather at times. And the winds will have eased a little bit, but nonetheless it could still be quite blustery. So not ideal bonfire party weather, but I'm sure you'll be able to make the most of it. I think it's worth also highlighting that, you know, lots of people will be having bonfire parties through this weekend, this Saturday in particular, and you can see through this evening, yes, it's a bit blustery, there's some showery bursts of rain, particularly towards the northwest and a few spots elsewhere, like I say, in the southeast, but for many, it's actually largely dry, so that's kind of some welcome news. And with the blustery winds, it does mean that fog's not going to be particularly much of an issue, which we can get at this time of year with bonfires in particular. That can cause some problems. So that's not something that we're expecting. In terms of bonfire night itself, and this isn't right, because that isn't what the weather's actually looking like, so we will move on. But I'll show you on this format instead. And actually, by bonfire night itself, it does look like it's going to be fairly unsettled. There's an area of low pressure coming in, nothing to do with any hurricanes, but it's likely to see some wet and windy weather pushing through again. Obviously, you know, we're looking 5 days ahead now, so details about the timing of this still to be ironed out. But yeah, just be prepared. On the 5th of November, it does look like it could be quite unsettled.
Nice. Sorry if there were some sound issues there. I seem to have lost my mic. But anyway, I've got it back now. Of course, we're live on Facebook, aren't we? So I've got a couple of Facebook questions for you.
Hello, Facebook people.
Yeah.
We've been live on Facebook for a while, a few weeks now, but I don't know if we've always been able to see the comments particularly well.
But hopefully this week we've got comments and maybe even a poll later for our quiz. Anyway, so Katrina Hardeman is asking, Alex, do you know when Peterborough could have thunderstorms or snow? I think I know what her favourite weather is.
Thunder snow? Do you think?
Snow.
Thunder snow.
Ooh.
Yeah. So at the moment, to be honest, through this whole weekend, anywhere in the UK, where am I looking for? Here I am. At the moment, we do have this band of showery rain. There could be some thunder mixed in with this, even though it's not that warm at the moment. It is quite warm. There's enough oomph, enough energy. We're talking, you only need temperatures around 15 degrees really to be looking at some CB, some cumulonimbus cloud developing, and so therefore the potential for some hail, some lightning, some thunder really as we go through the next few hours. Then once that showery rain clears through, then there are a few showers following in behind. They probably wouldn't bring any thunder. But then through the early hours of tomorrow morning, again, we have another band of rain coming through. But because temperatures will be slightly lower by that point, you'd expect, you wouldn't really expect any thunder and lightning as a result of that. Following in behind, however, more showers coming through. And there's the potential that some of these could be quite heavy. So a bit of thunder not out of the question, particularly on Saturday. Not that likely. I mean, it's November, and so you don't see thunder and lightning as often at this time of year as you do in the summer months, but it's not out of the question. You also asked about snow, and I teased that I might look at the freezing level earlier on, but currently it looks like the freezing level, as you would expect, I guess, with the mild weather that we have across us, it's above 1,400 metres. And so it's very high up, so it's above all our summits. But as we go through tomorrow, the freezing level does actually drop down. And so it gets close to, what's that, about 800 metres up. So I suppose over some of the higher ground of particularly Scotland, it's definitely not out of the question that we could see some sleet and snow mixed in with the showery bursts of rain that will be pushing in as well.
Lovely. Okay, we're getting actually quite a lot of questions. I think maybe more people might be watching because it's half term. But time's cracking on. It's been half an hour already, so we'll just do one, maybe two more. But Crookham Cobras 1978 says, if I could pop in a request for some high pressure for the second week of November, please, as I'll be taking my A-level joggers to Dorset Coast for their residential field trip. Looking forward to checking out the Fern Effect video. Oh, might have a teaser later. Have a lovely weekend.
So I think that was a question from last week's Weather Studio Live, I believe.
Okay.
But it's better now to answer something. Was it the second week of November, did you say?
Yes.
So here I have our most likely pressure setups as we go through the next fortnight. And the blue's indicating lower pressure, which means generally more unsettled weather, which is what we have at the moment, and that's what we're going to continue with as we go into the start of November. But thereafter, and as we go more towards the middle of the month, you can see there's a bit more of a spread in what we can see with some red colours. So what I think is going to happen as we go through November, and it's a bit difficult, often is at this time of year, but I think the start of the month, yes, it's going to be unsettled, so further wet and windy spells. I just showed you a low on Wednesday in time for bonfire night, so that does look like we're going to see some further wet and windy weather. But as we go deeper into the month, and it's a little bit more uncertain, but it's a tricky one to try and explain. I think the way I was talking to the chief about it is that there are signs of some blocking pattern developing, but exactly where that blocking pattern forms is where the uncertainty lies. And so I think the weather's going to become slightly less mobile, and so we're not going to have the systems pushing through necessarily. But nonetheless, if the blocking pattern isn't set over the UK and it's a bit further northeast or whatnot, then we could still have some rain. So it's going to become perhaps less changeable, and there is the potential for some drier, some longer lasting dry spells. But there's also the potential that we could get stuck under more unsettled weather instead. So a fair bit all to play for. So it may sound like we don't have a clue, but that's not the case. We do know that the signs of blocking pattern becomes more likely as we go deeper into November, but exactly where that block forms, well, that's pivotal in what we can expect.
Nice. What do you reckon? Quiz
Should we
time?
quiz? Yeah, been looking forward to it.
Cool, so in a moment I'm going to give Alex my quiz. Of course, the theme is Halloween, spooky weather.
That makes sense.
Hence that. I might put my hat back on for the quiz. Should we do a poll?
Your quiz
Who wants the hat back? Also, just had a message from one of our biggest fans, Alex. Aidan McGiven.
Oh yeah.
He's tuning in live. Just a little, you just noticed that when we were talking about Melissa deepening as it moves north, it's not actually deepening, it's just the moment that the isobars are quite tightly packed around the eye, that the resolution of our global models, it doesn't quite capture the true depth of the storm until it transitions into extratropical cyclone, and then it becomes a bit more spread out.
That makes sense. Thanks, Aidan. That's a new tool that I was playing with, and so it confused me a little bit.
Yeah, that's okay. I think we've all been there. Sometimes the graphics can be a little bit confusing, can't they? But yeah, thanks, Aidan. Thanks for tuning in. So what do you reckon then? Shall we go for it?
Let's do the quiz.
Okay, here we go. So make sure to add in your answers into our YouTube comments. We're also going to test out some polls on Facebook. They may or may not work. Hopefully they do. So please join along and let us know at the end how many you get. So, question number 1, Alex. Do we remember when I used to do these quizzes and you know, I used to have lots of stats questions and people didn't like them? Well, I brought it back.
Oh yes, we love a stat.
For the final time, we've got a stats question.
Is it 5 stats or just one?
Just
stat?
one, because
stat.
you know, I didn't want it to be that boring. So question 1. On 2 separate Halloweens, the UK recorded wind gusts of 110 miles per hour, making them the strongest gusts recorded on Halloween in the UK. Which 2 locations experienced these howling Halloween winds? So it was 2 locations. So was it A, Land's End in Cornwall and Beachy Head in East Sussex? Was it B, Gwenap Head in Cornwall and the Needles, so the Isle of Wight? Or was it C, Stornoway in Scotland and Dover, Kent?
Oh, only 3 options. You're so kind to me, Anna.
I know. I thought about adding in a 4th, but
okay, so I'm gonna go with B because the Isle of Wight is always a pesky one.
It does get quite gusty there, doesn't it?
And so yeah, so that's my guess, but I can't remember.
Okay, I thought maybe you might have a look at some Halloween stats.
Yeah, you thought. I was thinking as you started the quiz that I should have done that. So.
Oh,
bit late now.
Quite a few people are agreeing with you. We've got 58% of people. I've just been told that I need to put my hat back on.
The hat's popular. Go. Is it because it's covering your face a bit?
Is this what people want?
Is that better?
I've got to angle it right so everyone can see the spider.
Yeah.
I do suit it. I think I look quite good in this hat.
It's good.
Okay, so yeah, lots of people are agreeing with you there. 59% of people have gone for, I think I'm saying that right, Gwenap Head and the Needles.
You should have picked a easier to pronounce place.
I should have, unless that's the answer and I had no choice. Okay, question 2. It's going to fall off in a minute. So question 2 is about The Shining. Have you seen it?
I actually haven't.
Have you not?
No.
Too scary for you?
Yeah. I don't know. Oh. I think I've read it though.
Oh, okay. That might help.
Yeah.
So, the isolation of the Overlook Hotel in The Shining is heightened by the snowstorm that traps Jack and his family inside. But which US state is the fictional hotel located in? Is it A, Colorado, B, Oregon, or C, Montana?
I can't.
Which one is it? I really like The Shining. It's good. If you haven't seen it, you should watch it.
Yeah, I should watch it.
Maybe.
Is it Jack Nicholson?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's really scary in it.
Yeah.
Because even though it's quite an old movie now, I think it's still quite scary. Do you know, I did actually watch that once. This is going to make me sound a little bit unprofessional. I had it on in the background during a night shift.
Was it?
I was working, obviously.
Yeah, working hard.
Working hard. I had it on the background.
Night shift, I'm guessing.
Yeah, it was a quiet night shift. I really regretted it because it still scared me, and I'd seen it before, and I still got scared.
Could you give me the options again?
Yes,
Not
sorry.
that it super matters because it's going to be a guess.
So A, Colorado, B, Oregon, or C, Montana. Think snowy, snowstorm. Quite a few people are going for Montana, 46%.
I was just about to go Colorado.
Psychride's gone for Colorado, but you can't remember?
I think I spelled
quite a
Colorado
lot for
wrong.
Montana. Sorry?
I spelt it wrong.
You can't spell Montana.
No, I said Colorado.
Oh, Colorado.
But
good. Well, we're meteorologists. Okay, question 3. Are you a fan of Michael Jackson?
more of a fan of Michael Jackson than... are we allowed to be fans of Michael Jackson? Is that...
The music.
The music, yeah. I liked his music, yes.
So, in the Thriller music video, stormy weather plays a key role in setting the eerie tone. But what meteorological detail occurs just before the zombie sequence begins? Is it A, lightning flashes illuminate the graveyard as fog rolls in?
Oh.
B, heavy rain pouring down on Michael Jackson and his date as they exit the cinema? Or is it C, a sudden gust of wind that opens the crypt doors?
Okay, I know that one.
Okay.
I think. Oh.
Do you?
No. Oh, well, I think
don't
I
know.
do.
I can't actually see your answers. Here we go.
I've put them in the chat. But I've gone with an answer that I think, but it's either A or C.
A.
I don't remember them being wet. That would be a different video. I don't remember them raining. It
I'll
raining.
be honest. I didn't double check this. It's been a long time since I've watched that.
Okay. Well,
So you could be right, I could be right, who knows? Okay, I'm going to have that song in my head for the rest of the day.
Thriller?
Do.
Keep going.
Okay, question
Oh gosh, it's
4.
12:56.
I know, we need to crack on
Yeah,
here,
yeah.
sorry. So question 4, Hocus Pocus. Seen that one?
Yeah.
In Hocus Pocus, the Sanderson sisters return on Halloween night after 300 years. What weather-related event coincides with their resurrection and adds to the eerie atmosphere? Is it A, a lightning strike hits the Sanderson house just as the black flame candle is lit? Is it B, a sudden gust of wind blows open the cottage door where the sisters appear? Or is it C, a blood-red moon over Salem signalling their return? These are very wordy answers, I have just realised, but I hope you get the gist of it. They're not so wordy in the chat.
Okay.
Ooh.
I can't remember. I have watched it. I think I watched it. When did Hocus Pocus 2 come out?
I
Is that
don't know.
last year or the year before?
I've not seen that actually.
It's okay.
But this one came out in 1993. I wasn't even born.
I was.
Right, okay. Oh, quite a few people are going for C, the red moon over Salem.
Oh. I didn't.
Slim Handle's gone for C. Quite a few people going for C. Okay, final question. Although it's not a question.
Oh, is it a riddle?
It's a riddle!
Love a riddle.
We do love a riddle. We've not done one for a while,
No,
so
they're hard,
I'm
aren't they?
They are hard
Hard to think of good ones. Because often they're too easy.
Well,
Like
yeah,
that.
I can't tell with this one.
Okay.
I can't tell if it's hard or easy. But yeah, so no multiple choice answers for this one. Just whack in the chat what you think. So, I dwell where the light can't stay. I have no shadow, but scare the day. I slip through keyholes and where mortals dread. Yet I have no footprints where I tread. What am I?
Oh, gosh.
I felt like I was
That's a hard
conducting
one, I think. Is it weather related?
It's more Halloween related.
Is it at all weather related? No.
No. And I can tell you that the answer, well,
Isn't.
doesn't exist in real life, but you might think they do.
Okay, can you say it
That's
again?
Okay. I dwell where the light can't stay. I have no shadow, but scare the day. I slip through keyholes and where mortals dread, yet I leave no footprints where I tread.
Okay.
It's like a spell.
Okay.
Someone said
put my
fog.
options. Yeah, see, I
Someone
was
said
thinking
bus.
fog. I was thinking fog initially, but then that's weather, and I think you'd know that. So
It's not weather. Oh, quite a few people are going for vampire.
yeah, well, you said about the sun and stuff.
Someone
so
said
vampire was what I was thinking initially.
Ghost.
No, I've gone with ghost.
Psycry's gone for ghost. Jonathan Van Dyke has gone for vampire. Oh, it's vampire. And ghost. Someone said, is it Aiden? Liquid JP. It might be Aiden. He dwells where light can't stay. Right, we better get on with some answers because it's 1 o'clock. Let's go back. Let's see how well you did. Let us know in the chat which ones you get right and see if you beat Alex. What do you reckon? Do you think you've got 5?
No, but I think I've got 2 or 3.
Okay, let's have a look. The first question, on 2 separate Halloweens, the UK recorded wind gusts of 110 miles per hour, but which 2 sites was it? The answer was B. Gwenup Head in Cornwall and the Needles, Isle of Wight. 110 miles per hour. That was a gusty Halloween.
Yeah.
This hat is going to fall off.
It was. Yeah, I got that one right.
Oh, 59% got that right as well. You're
Nice.
in the 59%. Well done.
Solid logic.
Yeah. Question 2, The Shining. Haven't seen it. You're going to have to watch that this weekend.
Yeah. Get the 1-year-old and 4-year-old to watch it with me.
After they've gone to bed, Alex, come on. When they've done their trick-or-treating, they've gone to bed. So
We can watch
The Shining. So what location was the Overlook Hotel during the snowstorm? Was it Colorado, Oregon or Montana? The fictional hotel was in Colorado.
Oh, I got that one right as well.
There we go.
And that
I
was a
think
guess.
it was based on another one in Oregon, which is why maybe a few people went for that.
Maybe.
But it's the movie is set in Colorado. So
That's the important bit.
there we go.
2 for 2.
2 for 2. Oh, might get another 5 out of 5. Question 3, Thriller by Michael Jackson.
Oh, yeah.
What meteorological detail occurs just before the zombie sequence? What did you go for?
I went for the lightning strike and fog, but it could have been the wind one.
That was right. It was the lightning flashes, illuminates the graveyard, and then the fog rolls in.
Yeah.
I think the one when they exit the cinema, I think that's another music video, isn't it?
No, they do leave the cinema at the beginning.
Oh, okay.
And they feel, because that's the whole thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then he, turns into the zombie?
Into the, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a zombie.
Yeah. Because it starts with, a horror film, which they're watching in the
I've
cinema.
seen it in a while.
Oh,
I do listen to that song.
It's good.
During this
It's
time
good.
of year.
You watch that before
I'll watch
going
that.
out to
You
your
watch
party.
Yeah, that'll get me in the party mood.
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. Next, quite a few. Quite a lot of ones out of Dom Maish has got 3 out of 3.
3 out of 3.
Level with you. But quite a few people have got 1 or 2.
So
We'll see. Let's see if we can improve those scores. Question 4 is about Hocus Pocus. What weather-related event coincides with their resurrection?
So I went with B, the wind gust. But lots of people went with the red moon, blood red moon or blood moon.
Yeah, the blood moon was C.
Yeah.
Well, you're all wrong.
Ah.
It's A. It's a lightning strike, which I do vaguely remember.
So quite similar to the Thriller one.
Yeah.
Ah.
And then the black flame candle
Get your
is
own
lit.
ideas. Which came first, Thriller or Hocus Pocus?
It was Thriller. That was 1982.
91.
Hocus
Oh,
Pocus
wasn't even close.
It was the 80s, man.
Yeah.
Sorry, that one threw you off. But you're still doing pretty well.
3
still
for
doing
4.
pretty well. I think I just saw a little. Only a few of you got this one. 22%. Sorry, that was a harder.
Wow.
That was a bit of a harder question. Maybe not as many people have seen that movie. Right, what was your answer for the final one? Oh, here we go. Shall I read the riddle again?
Yes, go for it.
I dwell where the light can't stay. I have no shadow but scare the day. I slip through keyholes and where mortals dread. Yet I leave no footprints when I tread. The answer was not Aidan McGibbon. It was a ghost.
Oh, I got that one right as well.
Right. I guess a vampire could. Well, can vampires slip through keyholes? Maybe not.
Probably in some tale they can.
Yeah,
but
maybe in some.
who knows? But I think
Maybe.
Ghost is more correct. So great. So I got 4 out of 5. Let us know how you did.
Nice. Yeah.
Did anyone get 5 out of 5?
Yeah, did anyone get 5? Did anyone beat Alex? If you do, you win the hat. But it gets lost in the mail.
Well, thank you for the quiz. It was really good. We had a couple of questions come in. One of them that I wanted to answer was from Chris Hartshorn. He's asked, why has the Met Office stopped showing the 5 to 8 blue surface line? So that's the thickness. Anyway, so the thicker the layer of air, the warmer it is. And so when the line drops, or when the thickness drops below 5 to 8, it suggests that things are getting colder. Now, interestingly, if you look at our pressure charts, which are available on our website, The 5 to 8 line is drawn on it. Currently it is somewhere near Greenland, so not particularly close towards us. Or actually that's not currently, but it's, where's the weekend gone? Here it is. I can't actually, yeah, it's quite far away. It's more towards like Iceland way. So it's still a little bit far away. So it's still available. We don't put it on our video forecasts, but it is there. If you scroll along the charts, you can see the 5 to 8 line. So that's an interesting one.
Yeah. Someone has just said, Ruther Hare 9840, surely ghosts can just pass through the door, no need for keyholes. That's a good point, but I didn't write the riddle. But that is a good point.
They're polite ghosts.
They're polite ghosts, they're polite. Yes, so the weekend is upon us.
The weekend
We've got
is
some
now.
content going out on the weekend, haven't we, that you have done, all about the Fern effect.
That went out last weekend.
That went out last weekend.
Yeah, it already went out.
Of course, because
so
I definitely watched it.
Well, you were, yeah. It's quite a long one. I think it's about 10, 12 minutes long, but explaining the details of the Fern effect, and we have a little taster here. Let's start off with the mechanism that many explanations use as the sole cause of the Fern effect, and that is condensation and precipitation. Here is a side view of a 4,000-foot high mountain range, which is approximately the height of Ben Nevis, the highest peak in the UK. Air on the windward side is moist, with a temperature of 12 degrees and a dew point of 9 degrees. We've mentioned about dew point in some of our other videos, but to recap, it's the temperature at which air becomes saturated, meaning it can't hold any. I'm going to let you into a little secret there, Ronna. I wasn't actually at that mountain.
Were you not?
No.
I was thinking you looked taller than you do on the screen.
No, I wasn't really there. We used some clever camera trickery to make it look like I was, but
That's
no.
good, that's good. I was almost fooled.
Yeah.
But anyway, thank you so much for joining us this week for my last live-ish. No, I'll be back next week, but my last proper live.
The last one that you're presenting.
Yes, exactly. But yes, thank you so much. And just thank you again for all the lovely comments that I do get on my deep dives and on the lives. It's been so lovely to read, because I do sometimes lack a little bit of confidence, so it's been a real confidence boost sometimes getting all those lovely comments. And Alex, thank you so much for being a great co-host. I know I've done the lives with the other Alex and Aidan as well, but we've done quite a lot of lives together, so thank you so much. And I will miss my Fridays with you, stressing out just before the live and acting like we're not stressed.
Working out what's going to go wrong. It's honestly been so fun having you on the lives, and I've really enjoyed it. I am going to miss you, it's true. I'm looking forward to Annie coming back and doing lives with Alex and Aidan more often as well, but you are really going to be missed. So thank you for everything.
Alex. And we've got some, I made a chocolate cake, so we're all going to dig into some chocolate cake after this. Halloween special chocolate cake. But yes, thank you so much for joining us. And if your question didn't get answered, we're going to go live on TikTok with Alex later. So we did get quite a lot of questions. So if it was missed, join Alex a little bit later on TikTok for another opportunity to ask your question live. Otherwise, I hope you have a great weekend. Have fun if you're out trick-or-treating tonight. And yeah, we'll see you very soon.
Have a great weekend. Bye-bye.